Thank you for joining me here for this reading today from the Ching for our beautiful month of April 2026. I'm Helen. I'm a kinesiologist, which means that I work holistically with the body, and part of kinesiology is traditional Chinese medicine. And traditional Chinese medicine is steeped in the Tao. This is part of my entry into the Tao. And thus, with the Tao being present in the I Ching, I've been working with it professionally, but also personally for the past 12 years. And these readings from the I Ching are so profound. It's one of those systems where when you get to know more and more layers, you realize the great depth, the sea of these ancient teachings are not only relevant for the time that they emerged, that this technology emerged thousands of years ago, but it is so relevant today because it is based on a system of universal principles. And these universal principles are expressed in certain symbols. These symbols are connected with elements because they are archetypal in nature. And no matter where we are in the world, no matter what language we speak, etc., it doesn't matter what the differences are, we all understand water, sunshine, soil from the earth, a mountain. And when we feel into those elements, that creates an archetypal personal response. And these personal responses are a big player in our receiving of a message. So while there is the information, there is our internal wisdom, and the two together creates this guidance that is so unique for each and every single one of us, meaning that we can come to the same hexagram, the same teaching, time and time again, but each time we'll be arriving slightly different because we're never the same. And it's these filters, these emotions that we bring into a space that impact our responses. So please do notice your responses, especially the first ones. Those are jewels coming up from the subconscious to the conscious. Oftentimes, our first responses might not make sense. It might not even seem connected. Be with those and allow those to just gently rest with you. Likewise, when we receive a reading like this, because of the depth of layers, we don't get all the layers straight away. We might just get the surface layer. And a surface doesn't mean it's any less important. It's just one of the layers. So I'll be sharing some of the layers with you, and you will be sensing into your own layers. And together, it will make its unique configuration. In other words, unique messages for you. So in order to receive in a way that is most supporting, it's helpful to take a minute or so to relax the physical body, relax the mind, so quieten any thoughts or distractions. So if you need to do anything for yourself now, perhaps take yourself into a comfy, settled position. Please do so. And let's ground with 3 gentle breaths. Feeling your nervous system settling. Rooting down into the earth beneath you. Connecting to the heavens above. And now noticing the space between. As we breathe into our heart center, taking the hands to heart center if you like. You can repeat with me or simply affirm at the end of our intention. I trust the wisdom I am receiving from this ancient teaching, as well as my inner guidance, is aligned with my highest good and for the greater good of all. Breathe into that and affirm with I trust. As we exhale, we let go and we allow our palms now to be in an upward facing motion, relaxing gently down. This is a position of receiving. Let's also intentionally release any expectations. So keep the body relaxed, keep the mind relaxed. As we now receive Hexagram 31 as a guidance for us as a collective in this time of April 2026. And this hexagram shows the elements of a lake above a mountain. So there is a lake on top of a mountain. Just take a moment to feel into that imagery for yourself right now. What do you notice? Perhaps you notice the mountain more or the lake more, or perhaps it's something in the mountain, or perhaps you're on top of the mountain, perhaps you're in the lake. Just take a moment to notice. Now the lake, if we look at that element on its own, it talks to experiences of joy. Think about a lake and all the life and activity and how inviting it is for picnics or gatherings or to just go and sit quietly by. So there's so many different types of joy that a lake invites and presents. Then we have the mountain, this large, majestic being that has witnessed so much and remains in its center. It's talking to the all-knowing still point within us. It can remind us to connect to our center. It can sometimes invite in solitude. So notice what of those, or perhaps other aspects of a mountain, do you connect with right now? And now if we look at the two together, so the lake above the mountain, here we have got a beautiful bonding relationship between these two elements, because the one is supporting the other, and the lake, which is also drawing in more clouds, that's nourishing the mountain. So there is this reciprocal relationship. And this is what hexagram 31 is all about. It's sometimes called courtship, but it's not only referring to intimate relationships or romantic relationships. It is referring to relationships of all kinds and inviting us to take a moment to take stock of all the relationships that we have, not only the obvious ones, but some of the peripheral ones as well. And if you had to feel into your relationships right now, what is the general sense that you get? Remember to trust that first response. Allow the other responses afterwards to follow on, but do be with that first one as well. All right, so let's breathe into the awareness that we've received thus far. Release that. And let's now take our attention to one or two specific relationships. Perhaps those that need some TLC, those that have been strained, or those that are growing and you're wanting to grow and nurture more. And now that you have your focus, so the one or the two relationships, drop into your heart center. So release thoughts, release expectations, just soften the heart. You can start this by physically relaxing the chest. Breathing into your heart center and perhaps even breathe in the color pink into your heart center. You might like to place your hands over heart center. Breathe in a rose. The frequency of a rose is the closest in vibration to the human heart. So breathe in those beautiful rose petals, fragrances. And now, bring that one relationship a little bit closer to you and ask of yourself, what can I do to nourish this connection? First response. And if you're not getting a conscious response, do know and trust that the response is happening on other layers and levels. At the right time, in the right way, it will translate into conscious awareness. Let's connect to the heart again, connect to that beautiful rose frequency. Feel that nourishing you, feel that opening your heart. Maybe there is forgiveness that's being called for. But certainly in all relationships, there is compassion. So allow the flowering of compassion to rise, to bloom within you. And notice how wonderful that feels. To be open to life. And to be willing to give to another. Give your time, give your attention, give your love. And if you've got a second relationship, let's now connect with that as well. So bringing that a little bit closer to you, notice how that feels when you bring this a little bit closer to your heart, your beautiful flowering heart filled with love. As you ask yourself, what can I do for this relationship? What is it calling for me to do? Just allow your awareness to gently be with you as you release your attention on it. So not getting caught up in the details right now, just allowing it to gently be with you as we now move to hearing some words directly from the I Ching. In the situation in which you find yourself, being sensitive and bringing to bear a proper influence, which will result in a worthy end, will successfully resolve the situation. Your influence should not be purposive or self-seeking, but selfless, passive, benign. This position will lead to reward and mutual benefit for you and others. Cultivate keeping an open mind, which will immediately instigate the right and appropriate action for any circumstance. This hexagram is about reciprocal relationships and selfless mutual influence. Let's just take a minute just to allow all of that to absorb and ground. Bringing our attention now to the breath, feeling our body grounding down. With our hands again in front of heart center, we just take a moment to give thanks for the wisdom from this ancient system, which is alive in our very bodies, in our relationships, in nature, in the world around. And two, give thanks for the message, internal message that you received. And let yourself just gently bring into awareness again the highlight for you from this guidance, hexagram 31 of the I Ching, April 2026. May you hold your wisdom that you've received now close to your heart as you walk through these next days and weeks. And may it continue to unfold for you beautifully and perfectly in alignment with your highest good and, of course, with those you are in relationship with. Thank you for joining me here. Beautiful blessings. I look forward to connecting again in this way in a month's time. Such a pleasure, Susan. Thank you. Beautiful blessings, everybody. Lots of love.